Alice, when are you going to come see us?
I plan to come see you during the long weekend in May. Why do you ask?
You're not going to come see us until May? Ugh, that is too far away. Can't you come over sooner? You're part of this family now. You should make time for your new family too.
What do you mean by that?
Look, I've told you many times before, but I don't think you understand what it means to marry into this family. We have certain rules and traditions that need to be followed. We have certain expectations of you.
I see. You've told me this a million times, but I still don't seem to grasp the meaning of what you've been telling me.
You married my brother, so I'd like you to come visit more often with him. It's quite simple, really. And don't you think you're being rude to my parents as well? They miss having my brother around.
I don't think that I'm being rude to anyone.
That kind of thinking is what makes you rude. Now that you're married, you should think more about your in-laws and their needs. Don't you want them to like you? The happiness of your husband's family should be one of your top priorities now. Didn't your parents teach you any manners? I feel sorry for you that you grew up to be so clueless.
You're the one that doesn't have any manners. You shouldn't make negative assumptions about my parents. You don't even know them.
I'm not being rude. I'm just stating the facts.
The reason why I haven't been able to come visit you and your family often is because it's difficult for us to take time off work. We're both really busy. If we had the time, we'd come over. Your mother is very understanding about this, so I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this.
My mom is only being nice to you because she doesn't want to be rude. Deep down, she misses seeing my brother. You shouldn't take her kindness for granted. You haven't been able to produce any offspring yet. Don't you want my parents to meet their grandchildren? I can't believe you're trying to make me look like the bad person here.
I'm not blaming anyone for the situation.
Well, I feel like you're neglecting our family. And you also have a pretty big attitude. I would act more modest around my in-laws. Also, don't you feel bad that you haven't been able to bear any children? I'm sure that deep down my brother and mother feel oh so disappointed. I don't understand why my brother chose you as his wife.
Now you're just being hurtful. Do you have to be so cruel to me? What have I ever done to you? The fact that Alan and I can't have any children is something that we need to work out together. It has nothing to do with you. Besides, I'm getting along just fine with your parents. You're the only one giving me a difficult time.
You got that right. I'm having a hard time getting through to you. I don't understand what Alan sees in you. You're not the type of person I can be friends with.
Wow, you're being honest today.
It's because you just don't get it. You use work as an excuse not to spend any time with us. Alan tells me that you make him do half the housework too. You don't have any children, so why shouldn't you have the time to take care of the house on your own? You shouldn't be asking for my brother's help. I really don't understand you. I feel sorry for your parents too. They have a lousy daughter.
What's it to you? Why do you care so much? I'm sick and tired of you complaining about everything. This is my marriage. Please, stay out of it.
You know that I'm right. You just don't want to admit it.
How much time do you have on your hands? Why do you message me every day? Don't you have anything better to do?
Why don't you get my brother to stop me if it bothers you so much? I'm sure that he's going to side with me, though. He values me more than you.
I do understand that you don't like me, but could you please stop being mean to my family as well? What do you have against us?
I'm just saying you're a lousy wife and daughter.
I heard that you got engaged. He met your parents, right?
How do you know that?
Your mother sent me a photo of you and him when he visited your house the other day.
Why would she do that? You don't have to worry about me, though. I'm going to be a great wife unlike you.
Do you know where your fiancé Kevin is from?
How do you know his name? It's very creepy of you. I don't want Kevin to meet you ever. You're an embarrassment to my family. I'd like you to divorce my brother. Please leave me and my family alone. We don't want anything to do with you.
You haven't answered my question. Do you know where Kevin is from?
He's from the town next to ours.
I'm from the same town as Kevin, you know.
Huh? What's that got to do with anything?
Kevin is my childhood friend.
What's your point?
I just think it's a big coincidence. Kevin and I used to be neighbors. We've known each other since we were small, and we went to the same school together until we graduated high school. I still see him a couple of times a year when we meet up with old friends.
Where are you going with this?
When I saw the photo that your mother sent me, I was shocked to find out that he's now engaged to you.
So you've known Kevin since he was a child? This isn't your idea of a sick joke, then?
This isn't a joke. Your fiancé is one of my best friends. Isn't that so weird?
Yes. It's very weird. In fact, it's kind of creepy. But I'm engaged to Kevin, and there's nothing that you can do about that.
Why would I do anything?
Don't you want to try and say mean things about me to Kevin?
I don't.
I'm sure you'd get a kick out of telling him what a bitch I am to you.
Look, I'm actually a decent person. You're the one bullying me. At least you seem to be aware of the fact that you're a bully to me.
Shut up. And don't say anything about me to Kevin. I finally got him to propose to me. I won't let you ruin this for me.
I see. I know that you've had a hard time finding someone to ask you out. You're lucky that you met Kevin.
Stop patronizing me.
You're 30 and in love with your brother. You're not exactly a catch. It's a miracle that you got Kevin to propose to you.
You're being rude again.
I'm sure that I'm nowhere near as rude as you. You know that, don't you? Or are you one of those people that hurt people and don't even realize it? If that's the case, Kevin is not going to be happy in his marriage.
Look, I get it now. If I apologize, will you not say anything to Kevin?
I think it's a little too late for that. My family and Kevin's family are really close. Kevin would be devastated if he found out what you said about me and my parents.
I had no idea you and Kevin were so close. I'm really sorry for my behavior up until now. I promise to be a better sister-in-law to you from now on. Will you forgive me?
That doesn't sound like a heartfelt apology to me. I'm not out to destroy your relationship with Kevin. I'm not evil.
And you won't say anything to Kevin then?
I don't plan to.
You're nicer than I expected.
Like you said, we're family now. Family is supposed to look out for one another, right? And I'd like Kevin to have a happy marriage. He means so much to me.
I think we started off on the wrong foot. You're actually a good person. I'm sorry I didn't realize that sooner.
So you're going to move in with Kevin's parents, right?
Well, we haven't talked about that yet.
Why not? Kevin told me that he expected you to move in with his parents.
I like living in this town. I don't want to move. There isn't much to do in Kevin's town, and I prefer living with my own parents. And I wouldn't have so much freedom if I had to live with Kevin's parents.
That makes no sense. You're the one that told me that once a woman gets married, she should move in with her in-laws.
It's a little different for me, you see? I already live with my own parents, so it doesn't make sense for me to move out. Kevin is going to move in with us. He told me that he's fine with that.
Does he know that you mean your parents' place and not his?
What do you mean?
If you only said live with your parents, he may have misunderstood you and thought that you were talking about his parents and not yours.
But if I'm the one using the word parents, normally that would mean my parents and not his, right?
Okay, if you say so. I was just a little worried because I know that Kevin divorced his ex-wife because she refused to move in with his parents. I figured that he would expect the same from you, that's all.
What?
I suppose he loves you more than his ex-wife. Lucky for you. If Kevin's okay with it, there's no issue here.
Wait a minute.
I wish you and Kevin all the happiness in the world.
You're not making any sense. I had no idea that Kevin was married before.
You didn't know. Why would he hide that from you? In fact, Kevin's been married twice before, and he has 3 children from his previous marriages. I assumed he told you that.
Well, he didn't. You're making this all up. You're just trying to get back at me.
I'm merely stating the facts here. I'm surprised that Kevin kept this from you. By the way, I let Kevin's mother know what kind of person you really are.
What did you say to her?
I told her that you knew how important it was for you as Kevin's wife to move in with them after you two are married. Kevin's mother really appreciated the fact that you were willing to move in with them. She was thrilled. Kevin's first wife moved in with them, but she had enough after 6 months of living together. And Kevin's second wife was resistant to moving in from the beginning. She's so happy that Kevin met you.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this. Kevin didn't say a word to me. I am not going to move in with Kevin's parents.
I guess you should say that to Kevin and his parents because they seem to think otherwise. But if you tell them how you really feel, Kevin may rethink his marriage to you. Is that really what you want? I mean, you were so desperate to get married. I can't see you meeting another man anytime soon.
I am not going to live with Kevin's parents, but I can persuade him to still marry me. I'm sure that he'll understand where I'm coming from.
Are you sure about that? Kevin's really old-fashioned in his way of thinking. And he loves his mother too much. He probably loves her more than he loves you. The two are inseparable, so I think that you'll have a hard time persuading them.
Really? I didn't know that Kevin was so close to his mother. What am I supposed to do then?
Also, I had a chat with Alan. I showed him all the messages that you sent me up until now.
Why would you do that?
I was angry, and I wanted him to know what you were doing to me. We both don't intend on coming over to your parents' house as long as you live there. And you won't be hearing from either of us again.
Why is Alan upset with me too?
He's upset because you don't know how to be nice to me. He used to love you, but after he saw how you were treating me, he was pretty upset. If you decide to move in with Kevin's parents, we can go see your parents whenever we want to. Don't you think that moving in with Kevin's parents is the best thing for everyone in this family?
Please ask Alan to forgive me. My mother will be upset if she finds out that Alan's angry with me.
This is your mess. You need to figure out a way to fix this yourself. Say hi to your new mother-in-law for me. Please don't message me ever again. Bye! Karen explained to Kevin that she wanted to continue to live with her parents and she asked him to move in with her. Kevin didn't want that because he didn't want to be separated from his own parents. Kevin told Karen that he would call off their engagement if she didn't agree to live with his parents, and if their engagement were to be called off, he would be asking her to pay him alimony. In the end, Karen ended up marrying Kevin and putting his needs before her own. But things didn't go so well for Karen. She found it tough and miserable to be living with her in-laws. On top of that, she saw that Kevin had to use a majority of his earnings to pay for child support for the children that he already had with his previous 2 wives. That didn't leave much money for Kevin and Karen, and so they were forced to live a frugal life. Also, Kevin cared a great deal for his mother and didn't pay much attention to Karen, which left her feeling very lonely. I guess karma gave Karen what she deserved in the end.
Marie, all that cleaning you did was all done very carelessly, I see. Why did you not put more time and effort into all of it? Do you think this level of cleanliness around the house is really okay?
Huh? You think that I did all of that work with little effort? I'm sorry, but I put in a lot more effort than you think.
Right now, it doesn't seem like you're here, so can you hurry it up and get back to the house to actually give this place a proper cleaning?
I'm going to have to work really soon now, so I don't think I can at the moment. When I'm back over there tomorrow, I'll make sure to put a bit more elbow grease into all of the chores.
And you're just an overnight janitor, so you'll be doing the same job there that you should have gotten done here, right? You're better off just giving up that job and coming back to me, since I'm sure they're not paying you much anyway. I mean, the most fun you have at that job is probably cleaning the toilets there, right? I guess you've really lost what it meant to be a human being.
Joyce, if you're looking to take more jabs at me, can we do all of this another time? I'm a bit busy right now and won't have much time to read your messages.
You think you're really that busy? When you actually start putting in proper work every day, both at my house and at your job, then you can tell me you're busy. This is my first time ever seeing someone as lazy and useless as you are, Marie. How about you actually start to take your job cleaning my house up more seriously from now on?
I'm just a little curious, but what part of me is so useless to you? Not only am I working nights as a janitor to make extra money, but during the day I'm over at your house taking care of your husband and doing the chores for you both. And it's always been me doing the chores back home because my husband won't pick up a broom. I have had nobody helping me along, and I've at least made it up to here. Yet even after all the work I've given, you're going to say that I'm useless? Are you sure you slept on the right side of the bed today, Joyce?
I'm just telling you the truth about yourself. I'm just trying to let you know that we really don't need you around us anymore, so what's bad about that? I'm not happy with the fact that recently you've been really falling behind when it comes to getting the chores done around my house. If you don't start picking up the pace and getting all the cleaning done right, I'm going to have to kick you out for good.
I have not been falling behind with any of the chores there. And if there is ever a time where you think I'm falling behind, it might just be because I'm super tired and need a moment to rest.
Tired and need a rest, huh? Why are you tired?
I'm working a job overnight. I have to do both the chores at my house and your house, and I have to care for my father-in-law. The only way I'm even able to work a job is by doing it overnight, because that's the only time your husband is asleep and I can have some time of my own. I'm working a job overnight. I have to do both the chores at my house and your house, and I have to care for my father-in-law. I'm not upset about the schedule I have. At least not yet. But when I'm on my feet all day and night, I really do not get the right amount of sleep I should be. And so recently, I'm not surprised to see that I'm getting a bit tired from not having a break.
What are you talking about? All that seemed to me like was a load of excuses.
Excuses?
I'm also working a job that takes time away from me and leaves me feeling tired, and I'm way older than you are right now, Marie, yet I am still working a job. You have no right to complain to me about being tired when I'm double your age and work still.
I believe I do have a right to complain a little, though. So please do not say such hurtful things like that to me.
And if you do not do the chores here properly for me anymore, then my son is going to start to think twice about a woman like you. So if you understand that now, then maybe it's time you stop sitting around and actually get some decent work done for me for once.
I'm on my way to work now. And I believe I have completed all my chores for the day there and completed them to a good standard. So if you still have any complaints about what I've done, perhaps it's time you question yourself more than me.
You! What kind of dinner is this? I know something's up with you now. All of this, what the hell do you think you're doing by making something like this?
What are you complaining about now, Joyce?
I am not messing around right now, all right? I know everything about what's been going on with you, and I want to know why. Why have you brought home pre-made food for us to eat for dinner? These dishes all came from that supermarket down by the water park, right?
Oh, that's right. I didn't have enough time to get all your meals ready for today, so I just thought it would be all right for me to pick some things up from that supermarket for you to eat. Is it such a problem for you to be eating something like that?
Are you kidding me? You think it's acceptable to give me food like this? Why are you such an awful woman and wife? You should always be able to make food for everyone, no matter what time you do or don't have. You never seem to get any of the chores done here anymore, and I'm sure you just want to keep things that way forever, don't you?
Joyce, Today I had to take your husband into the hospital for one of his routine appointments there. And since I have to work now for the night, I thought on my way home I'd pick up some food for you guys to eat that you'd both enjoy. Why do you think you have to throw a temper tantrum when all I've done is brought a few simple dishes for you to eat with dinner? You have to understand that I'm getting tired of not only all the work and chores I have to do, but also of your behavior towards me.
I can no longer accept you as my son's wife anymore when all you're going to do is slack off and not get your job done. I want you to divorce my son and leave his house.
Now you're really wanting to take things to the next level. Are you sure you'd want me doing something like that?
I can no longer think of having you around this house when all you do is sit around doing nothing. You divorce my son now.
I guess you really are sure about all of that. You think that I'm slacking off because of one instance where I've bought some pre-made food from the store and served it to you both for dinner? Well, if even something as little as that is going to get you to throw a fit, then I guess there's nothing left for me to do with you.
I'm the one who has no idea what to do with you anymore. I have had to put up with you forever now, being one of the worst women on this planet, all because you're too lazy to get real work done. And I think Drake is thinking the same thing of you. Maybe that's why he's never home anymore? I bet he has himself another woman now, and she's probably leagues above you in everything.
You think so? Well, if you're going to be bringing up things like that now, I have no other choice but to leave your family. I think I'm completely fine with a divorce now.
And since you can't even do the simplest of things like make dinner for me anymore, I'll be glad to have you gone and out of my hair. We can go right back to handling things here by ourselves, and I'm sure it'll all be a lot easier now without you.
I'll be going then.
And don't you ever come back to my family and house again.
I won't. When I'm finished with my work, I'll be over tomorrow to get all of my things and be gone, out of your sights for good. And once I'm gone, don't ever expect me to come back again. And by the way, since I'll be busy preparing myself to leave and all that, I want you to watch after your husband for me.
Huh?
He'll have to go to the hospital as well. He's had to go at least 4 times a week now for the past few months.
He goes that often? I never knew that.
I know. Now, I'm going to do just as you've wished and leave all of you guys forever. And if anything is to happen to you guys after I'm gone, that's all just a part of what you asked for. I mean, you were praying for something like this to happen after all. I'd like for you to remember that if you regret anything, it's going to be far too late to ask me to come back and help.
I won't regret a second of my life after you're gone. Having a useless woman like you out of our lives will finally allow for us to breathe some fresh air again. Don't you ever come back, you frickin' witch.
You'd better hold responsibility for all you've just said to me. Goodbye forever now. And so long.
Marie, when do you plan on coming back here? You've been away from this house for far too long. Do you have any common sense left in that head of yours?
Excuse me? What are you talking about right now? Joyce, Drake and I got a divorce, and so I have no plans of ever coming back to any of you guys ever again.
Why are you making stupid jokes like that now? Get your butt back here right now. You're being a pain in my butt right now.
I'm not really sure what the hell you're talking about, but I'm not going back there. Why are you even talking to me right now after all you said before?
Without you around the house anymore, the place is turning into a total pigsty.
Really? Who would have guessed that? So are you trying to get me to come back there now only because you were too incompetent to do their chores there? You're a total nut job thinking that you can call your son's ex-wife back over to help out for reasons like that.
Shut up! I didn't think that you being gone would cause my place to end up like this in only 1 week.
Also, I'm sure you're aware that the money I was making from my overnight job is what was supporting your house, right?
Huh? What the hell are you going on about now? Drake is still working right now, so of course he's been the one supporting us this whole time.
Your son is not putting a single penny into your house right now.
What?
I think you'd be better off asking him to start putting money into your house, though, now that I'm no longer there to help. If you don't, he's only going to keep growing further and further from you guys, only spending that money on himself. And when it comes to the medical care for your husband, it's not free. So it's really time you figure out where to get that money from, all right?
You're trying to tell me that this whole time you've been the one putting money into our family? I can't even imagine a half-baked woman like you ever being able to do that.
And I'm not asking you to imagine it. I'm just telling you the truth is all. In my case, I've been working nights every night for a long time now. And on top of that, I was taking care of your husband for you and doing all the chores in the house. And since I'm now no longer a part of the family and I'm long gone, your house has started to have crap build up everywhere. Because you have no clue what you're doing, right? I'm starting to wonder if any of the neighbors are starting to become aware of the stench that's radiating from your home right now.
What? Stench radiating from my home? If they think so, then why aren't they telling me anything?
Maybe they don't want to be seen talking to someone that allows themselves to live in a mess like that? Well, I can totally imagine the dump you're all living in right now. It's pretty hilarious, actually. Joyce, you can't even get any chores done yourself. And when it comes to cleaning, I'm sure you have no idea what needs to be done.
That's because that was your job before.
But before I was part of the family, you were able to handle all that yourself, right?
But I've been so busy working a job of my own.
What? I'm the one that had to be at work for 8 hours a day, Joyce? What are you actually talking about? I worked my 8-hour job every night and then came back to your place to clean up all that trash you left all over, as well as cooked and took care of your husband. Are you not even going to thank me for all that work? Well, at this point, I don't care for your thanks, since it wouldn't be sincere coming from you anyway. But I couldn't have been the only one aware that when I left you guys, that house would become a pigsty, right?
You can say that all you like, but I never actually thought things would get this bad here.
Are you even taking care of your husband properly? If you're not tending to all his needs, then maybe you should call a professional in to care for him.
But having a pro come in to care for him would only cost us more money. I'm already on my last leg trying to get the money we need here as things are.
Well, maybe if you weren't using all that money you make from that little part-time job of yours on yourself, you'd have some money saved to use on a pro for him. But you seem to only really care about yourself, even when things are becoming this bad for you. You're his wife, though, Joyce, so you really should be caring for him a lot more than you are, right? Anyway, I'm going to recommend you get a professional to take care of him, all right? I feel really sorry for your husband after all.
But I can't do everything. I am able to take care of him properly, just like you did, but I never have any time to get the chores done while caring for him. And I can't just quit my part-time job to be at home 24/7. Why would this be happening to me when I really need money as well?
Seriously? Why are you complaining about things like that to me?
Excuse me? You're the one that took care of all this before, shoving all the responsibilities onto me, so please do something to help me.
Is there anything I can do about you guys now?
You can at least come over here and clean for us.
I've already divorced Drake, and there is no going back to him. You and I are complete strangers now. And that means when it comes to your problems, I have nothing to do with them. Why did you even decide to text me today after asking me to leave for good?
I can't do this anymore. I cannot believe you talked to your own mother-in-law like that. You can come back here.
Wait, what?
I'm sure you're living in hell right now all by yourself, right? And for a while I assumed there was no place for you here in my family. But I guess when it comes to using you as a janitor here, I could find some use still in you. You have no other option besides coming back here, so come on home.
What the actual hell is going on with you?
Well then, you can come back here tomorrow.
I have no freaking reason to come back to you, you brainless dunce.
What? What did you just say? Did you just call me a brainless dunce?
Who the hell would say something like you did after all the hell you put me and yourself through? I'm not coming back to your house after all that crap. Like, come on. I'm honestly wondering why after 1 week you're already throwing common sense out the window like that. I told you about all of this before, right? No matter what happens to you all over there, you deserve it, right?
But Drake has told me he never wanted to get a divorce from you. How about you go back to him and talk all of this through? Maybe you'll start to love him again. Then you can come back here and live with us at this house all the time.
No freaking way, you butthead. Nope. You act like I'd ever fall in love with a man like him again when he was the one cheating on me. So no freaking thanks.
What? He cheated on you?
He was putting all the money he earned into this other chick he'd been going out with while having me stay with you and your husband to keep you both pleased. He even had me paying for you both and never gave a single penny. He's an awful man, and I'd cut off my own hands before going back to him. I already have myself a lawyer right now, and he's working on getting me a settlement from Drake. And once that's happened, you guys will really be down on your luck, right?
You've taken things that far now? You really don't have to get a settlement from him, though.
Also, I'm in a new apartment of my own now where I'm able to relax a little and enjoy my own money for once.
What? You've already gotten an apartment?
I'm not going to have anything to do with you guys for the rest of time after I get that money from Drake. So good luck on taking care of both your husband and the house from now on. And with that, the useless woman you hated so much is going to say bye-bye now. Isn't this great, Joyce? You got just what you asked for. Bye-bye now. In the end, I went ahead and completely ignored both Drake and Joyce for the rest of my life. Joyce was never able to pay anything off on her own, and so she's begun borrowing money to try and stay on the bank's good side. Her husband has also begun living without a lot of the care he received before, and his health has started to pay for that. And in Drake's case, he had to end up using all his savings and then some borrowed money paying off the settlement I asked him for. After just a few weeks of neglecting her husband to work more and do the chores, she started to realize that he was dying, and so had to give up her work in order to care for him full time. But when it comes to doing the chores, she still had a hard time getting around to them routinely, and so the house still looks as bad as it did a week after I left. I know that witch was trying to have her fun kicking me out of the house for no good reason, but after making a poor choice like that, she's the one paying in sweat and tears.
Miss Audrey, about yesterday, can you tell me what happened?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about the car.
Oh, the car! Oh, I wanted to borrow it next Monday too. Is that all right?
Of course that's not all right. What are you talking about? My husband also said don't ever let her have the car again. How did you manage to make it into that condition?
Was it really that bad though? I feel like you're being a little too sensitive.
That's not the problem here. The rear seats were all covered in mud. It looks like you scratched it too. How could you try to return it in that condition?
Huh? Of course I did. I have to return what I borrowed. That's common sense. I'm going to return it, obviously.
Hang on. Let me explain what common sense is. You return whatever you were borrowing in the original condition it was in. I'm going to have you pay for all of the repair and cleaning bills.
No, you can't do that. I'm just a stay-at-home wife. Besides, I have kids. Just because the interior of the car is a little dirty doesn't mean that much, does it? It was just a little dirty, though.
You just said you were going on a picnic, but where did you go hiking? The deep woods? There were literally bits of pine all over the car inside and out. How do you explain all of that?
Oh, well, we did go to a place with a lot of nature. And it kind of makes sense why that would happen. But I really can't pay this time, just so you know. I'm not like you, Elsa. I'm just a stay-at-home wife.
That's not going to pass as an excuse, just so you know. I'm going to have my husband reach out to your husband. He's going to know about what happened.
Hang on. How does my husband have anything to do with anything? I just borrowed the car, seriously. If you bring him into it, it's just gonna make things annoying. Please don't.
Okay, then pay up. I'll take you the invoices today.
Ugh, I can't do that. Anyway, I'll be needing it next Monday. I'll have to borrow it all day. I hope you can have it fixed by then.
I'm not lending you it again! You're seriously not going to pay us, huh?
Nope, I'm not going to. It's not like I don't want to pay you. I literally can't pay you. Can't be helped, right? Ugh, and you're starting to get on my nerves, old lady.
Old lady? I'm literally only a year older than you.
You definitely look at least 10 years older than I do. And don't you dare look down on me.
I don't really care about stuff like that anymore. So let me get this straight. You completely trashed our car to the point where it needed repairs, but you have no intention of paying, is that correct?
Look at you being all bossy. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. When you lent it to me, it was basically your fault anyway. You're lending it to me. You should have predicted that kind of situation would come up. You never know what's going to happen. No one ever knows what's going to happen.
I told you beforehand, didn't I? I said I didn't want to loan you my car. But if you needed to use it because you had to get a car, then you had to make sure you'd return it in its original condition.
What? I don't remember you ever saying such a thing. Did I really say that?
Stop messing around with me. If that's the attitude you want to have, we also have our own options that we can pursue.
What? You're scaring me. What are your options?
You said you were going on a picnic. You went with your friends, right?
Yeah, sure. What does that have to do with anything?
Why didn't you use your own car? Or maybe one of your friends' cars?
Our car is tiny. It's not really designed for picnics. So I figured that your car was perfect for the occasion.
Really? Does your husband know about this?
About what? That I borrowed the car? Of course he knows about it. I told him after the fact, but I did make sure to tell him.
No, not about that.
Huh?
About who you went picnicking with. The fact that it was a man.
How do you know?
Did I say that it was a man? Is that person your friend or something, Audrey?
That person who? Did you see us somewhere?
I did see you two. I'm pretty sure that it was your neighbor's husband too, right?
You saw our faces too? You're wrong though. It was just someone that kind of looks like him. I thought they kind of looked similar too.
I know for a fact that he's not a stranger. There's no way I would make that kind of mistake. I've seen that same man wearing the exact same clothes before.
You're checking his clothes too? You're really detailed, huh? Yeah, you're right, but it's not like we went on a picnic together. I just saw him along the way, so I figured I'd give him a ride. I met my friends after I dropped him off. There's no problems there, right? Where did you even see us, though?
Other friends? I didn't notice you being with any other friends.
I said they came later on. That's why when you saw me with the neighbor's husband, then later on, my friend showed up.
Yeah, that's not possible.
Huh? Why not?
It's literally impossible. That man was the only person that rode in the car.
What are you saying?
That car has a drive recorder.
Huh? That thing isn't a fake?
No, of course it's not a fake. I don't normally look over the footage, but the car was in such bad condition when it was returned, I had to look over the content. It caught all your audio, too.
You're lying. What are you talking about?
I know why you did that. How you were able to make that car that dirty. I know exactly what happened. If you did that while you drove, it would scrape the car against the guardrail, too.
Miss Elsa, I'm so sorry. Please delete the footage for me.
There really is no picnicking at all. You really went to the mountainside. To do what, exactly? You even took your 3-year-old daughter with you. How could you do that? I'm sure the crap in the back seat was from when your daughter came back into the back seat with all the mud. If she was left alone for 3 hours, I'm sure she'd get pretty dang bored too.
I'm sorry. I didn't have any bad intentions. I just didn't have any time to clean up. Can you keep this between us and not tell my husband? I'll pay for the damages, I swear. I'll pay for the cleaning and repairs. I'll even pay a little extra. Is that all right?
You're definitely going to be paying for damages. Actually, the fact that you were doing something kids shouldn't be seeing, using a neighbor's vehicle, makes me never want to touch the car again. So you'll be buying the car outright.
What are you talking about? You know I can't do that. I don't even have that kind of savings. I've only got like $2,000 left. What do you want me to do?
If you're going to be in that much trouble, why did you go out of the way to borrow my car?
Well, if I use our car, there will be evidence left behind. And if someone saw the neighbor getting into my car with my daughter, everyone would know immediately what was going on. I figured if it was your car, it would be difficult for people to catch on.
You're being super calculated about that kind of thing. Your stuff is all premeditated. Where the hell were you planning on going with my car?
I'm sorry. You don't have to lend me your car anymore. I'll pay for the repair damages, I swear.
It's too late for that.
What do you mean it's too late?
If you had apologized when I asked about it a second ago, I probably wouldn't have gone this far, but I already invited her over to my house. She's heading over now.
Huh? His wife? Why?
You should know the answer to that question. Your partner that you're having an affair with is one of my friend's husband.
I didn't know you two got along that well at all.
My oldest son was in the same class. They've always gotten along. She kept asking me about what was really going on with her husband because he was acting weird recently. I'm glad that I was able to help her out. Now she'll know why that is.
Hang on a second. We're technically sister-in-laws, right? We're relatives. You're going to take your friend over your relative?
I don't think you treat me as a relative. You literally just use me to get with your affair partner. I don't want you to be complaining now.
That's not true. I totally respect and admire you.
You're seriously too late now. I don't care what you have to say about any of that. Whatever, you're going to buy the car completely. And whether you're getting a divorce or not, I'm sure there's going to be some people asking for damages.
Damages? Divorce? Just because of this one time?
You know, based off of your conversation you were having in the car, I really don't think it was just this once.
I forgot that the audio was also recorded.
Just give up, seriously. I already had my husband reach out to him too. As soon as work is over, he's gonna be coming over to my house. If you want to come over too, you're more than welcome to come. You can explain it all yourself. Everyone ended up coming over to Elsa's house, and all started talking about what happened and what to do. The cheater's wife seemed to have known that something was going on, but Audrey's husband seemed to have not known about any of this at all, so he was pretty shocked about the whole thing. They're all talking about divorce right now, but it seems like the damages is going to be a very expensive price. The wife of the cheater only sued for damages, but no matter which way you look at it, Audrey will not be able to pay for it. Audrey ended up buying Elsa's car outright, and Elsa ended up happy with a brand new car.